Christmas time, mistletoe and wine. I know. Marcus, don't give up your day job. Well, you see though, it is Christmas time. And in this video, we are going to be making the perfect Christmas gift. The Christmas gift that all your, well, relatives and non-loved ones, because obviously you wouldn't send them to your arch nemesis in the family. Well, they're going to be envious, they are. They're going to say, why didn't I get one of these cool gifts? And when I say a cool gift, I mean a really cool gift. And I'm not talking about a mobile phone, no, with greasy fingerprints on, no. I'm talking about a Millennium, a Millennium Falcon phone holder. Or maybe it could be a Baby Yoda phone holder. Maybe, it's up to you. But in this video, we're going all cute and fluffy, we are. We're going to be doing a mini-me. No, actually, no, it's going to be a cat. Okay, it's going to be a cat phone holder. And anybody could pretty much make one of these. So this is something that you could make yourself. Because you don't have to do it like this. What I'll do is, in this video, I'll explain as we go along. Well, you can do it like this instead, if you like. Because maybe you don't have a scroll saw, for instance. But there are other things you can do. The principles and the idea is what's really important here, you see. And what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to true up this piece of wood. That happens to be a piece of oak, which happens to be, how to put it, not true. So we need to true it up first. Just chopped off the bit of wood I have. Yeah, and it's a reasonably stable piece of wood, but it doesn't really matter anyway, because it's going to be a phone holder. Base, like one of these. In fact, it's a bit thicker, this one. But that don't matter. It could be any thickness you like. It could be really tall if you... No, that'll be silly. But anyway, this particular one is going to be a little bit thicker than that one. But it doesn't matter, does it? No. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to prepare this block of wood, and a block of oak could be a bit, a block of pine, could be anything. And you don't have to true it up, you don't want to, but we are going to true it up. And first of all, I'm going to sharpen my hand plane as well. So, here we go. Screwdriver. Just a little, just need to touch it up a little bit. Touch it up. Whoa, yeah. Ooh, the screws come out. Don't you go down that hole. No, anyway. So, I'll grab a little bit of oil because we're going to use the oil stone, the fine one there. And could use the, well, what the hell? It's just this. Use a guide if you like, or just do it by hand. I'm going to use a guide because I'm only going to do it. Yeah. For the hell of it. Just about right. That'll do. Yep. So first of all, I'm just going to sharpen up, hone my plane iron. Now, if you don't have a hand plane, maybe you want to just sand it. A piece of sandpaper stuck to a board, right? And you can pretty much true your piece of wood up on that. But also, you know, get rid of any saw marks and stuff you have from cutting your piece of timber. Just with sandpaper. You know, you use what you got. That's the whole point. You use what you got. I might be a bit far back on it. Don't try that at home. Okay, that'll do. I should have prepared that earlier, shouldn't I, really? And we could have skipped that bit. But it's all part of the fun, that it is. So on goes the chip breaker. About 2 or 3 mil from the plain edge. Like so. And then we're going to true up that little block of wood. I'm just using a little Stanley Bailey number 4 hand plane. Like I said, you can use whatever you have got. Now, if you aren't considering getting yourself a hand plane and you can't find an old one or what have you, and you go buy a brand new one, just bear in mind you might need a little bit of extra work with it, just to make it a little bit more usable. All right, so we're going to use square. No, not me. No, we're going to use square. As in this combination square we're going to use. Oh yes, I would say that is not true. Can you see that gap? Oh there. Look a bit shoddy, wouldn't it? That side's true, but the other side is not true. So let's start with the true face. And we're going to just plane that up. Now, because the piece of wood is fairly short, using the hand plane can get a little bit tricky. Oh, a little bit deeper. I'm not going to try and take off too much at a time. Perfect. Now, if you feel any ridges, which I do not, that'll be a telltale sign that you've got a little notch in your plane iron. Maybe you've hit a nail or something at some point. So that is, this face was already true, but let's just check it. It's fine still. Now let's do the opposite side, which is that one. And what I'm doing is I'm looking, checking to see what direction the grain's going. Now I can see that grain is going up in that direction. It's pointing upwards in that direction. I don't want to try and plane that way, because if I do, I'll grab all the end grain, won't I? In the wrong direction, and I'll cause tear rate. So I need to make sure I plane in this direction, so I'm actually stroking the top of the actual grain. Now, I'm not going to worry about mark it, what have you. You know, the square. I can see that edge here needs more off than the other edge. That side there needs to have some removed than that side. Now, you could do it by rocking the plane over a little bit that side to actually take more material off that side. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to point the plane iron at a slight angle. I've skewed the plane iron so it's gone down like so. So it's going to take off more on that side than that side, which it is. And then once I'm satisfied I've taken enough off, I'll true it up. I'll true the plane iron up by eyeing along the plane itself. So it pokes through equally on both sides, which it is now. And now I'll carry on taking my shavings. You want it quite controlled. You don't want to go crazy at it. That young Irish woodworker, is it Eon? I don't know if I pronounce his name, but he's a lovely lad. But he's doing really well on YouTube, but he sort of strokes it with his blade like that. What's that all about? He's got some sort of fetish going on there. But you want to try and get sort of very long, full-length shavings. Like that. So that should be a full-length shaving. It's a bit thick, actually. But as you can see, that's full length. They're really thin though. Oh, that's looking better. A little bit more. But just, you know, use your finger as a guide. This is going to be so cool. Especially if you like cats. It's going to be a cool cat. That is. Yeah, that's loads better. That's fine. I know the ends are fine because they're done on my radial arm saw, my DeWalt radial arm saw. They're fine. So they'll just be sanded. So now we've got our block. Now, the block is going to need sanding up, what have you. Before we do that, I have to create this groove. Now, that's one of the hard pieces, or hard things to do if you haven't got a router, for instance. And even with a router, you could do like jigs and stuff. Now I've got a jig set up over there. It's like a little mini router table just for doing this job with a coving bit in like that. Now, if you don't want to do that, what you can actually do, you could create a nice little piece of wood that you, like a stop. So all you're trying to do is to stop the phone coming off the edge, aren't you? All right. So if you just had, you could use a different colour piece of timber even. Let's say, for instance, a piece of walnut with the oak goes quite well. So you can have a little short piece of timber on there, for which I can then rest up against, if it makes any sense. But what we're going to do is we're going to create our little, like a round dado. And to do that, we're going to go over there where the router is. Oh, yes we are. There's a router in a table and a little jig set up for it. Well, sort of a jig. Got to do the jig, you know, like the Irish jig. Who's going to do the Irish jig? You going to do the Irish jig? No, I'm not going to do the Irish jig, not me. I'll get rid of that, we don't need that there. So that's been used for a while. Set to right height yet. Oh, scary. Oh dear. Now there is potential for some breakouts. They might have to, on the face that leaves, they might get breakout on one side. So I might need to actually do a bit of TLC afterwards. Not for now. We'll give it a go, shall we? Oh dear, scary this is. Where's the switch gone? Oh, there it is. That's alright. No breakout, which is good. Oh, that's good, no breakout. Alright, so it's gone a bit fluffy, the bit needs sharpening to be fair. But, you know, you just got to go with it. And what I was doing is I was making sure I pushed down tight to the actual little table and against this fence. Now, I do have a bit of wood here. Normally I have that screwed across here as a stop, so it doesn't do that. So you can't really go anywhere. So it's in at stop, but I didn't because I forgot. Because I'm an idiot. I can't help it. And now we're going to come over here to the linisher. In fact, actually, we'll do the linisher next, which is a little bit of sanding. So far, so good. Oh, we're going to be using that in a minute. Yeah, the fret saw. Do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to prep up my pattern for the fret saw. Oh dear, for the cat. You've got to have the cat, you see. And there's my cat pattern. And this is the piece of timber I'm going to be using, which is actually a part of an old door panel. So, it could go, would it fit in there or not? Would it fit on there? Ooh. No, I'll do it better. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, this there will do. I think the direction of the grain you see as well. The head will fall off. So you've got to bear that in mind, you see. You don't want the head to fall off, do you? I'm going to do my technique regarding sticking it to the pattern, to the wood, the pattern to the wood. I use tape like so. Right. A bit more. Oh. Right, there's a reason why I do this. The tape actually helps lubricate the blade, but also it makes it easier to remove and clean. Now what we're going to do is use the spray adhesive. Oh, look at his face. Right, we're getting rid of his whiskers anyway. I don't want to waste wood, so use as much of the wood as we possibly can. So bear in mind the grain direction, because places like here where his head is thin, his neck could snap. The grain's going that way, so you've got to bear, you know. When I cut this, I leave a bit more material on the tail, otherwise the tail could snap here. So you've got to bear that in mind. So I just want to put something not weighty on there. Got something weighty. I need something weighty. That can go on there like so, and then like so. And I'll just leave that, forget about it for a minute, while we finish preparing this piece of wood, because there's the base. Because at the moment there's some burn marks there from the rotor. And like I say, if you were doing like a little piece of wood there, or you could have a couple of little dowels sticking out instead of this groove, anything that stops the phone from sliding out. Now, like I say, if you use contrasting coloured materials, it could be quite cool. Plonk that around there like that, and we'll get rid of some of these old burn marks on these. Alright, now, at the moment all the arrows is a bit sharp. You could use a router if you like, to round them up, which I think was what we're going to do. I'm actually going to put the router in the vise. Oh no, don't put the router in the vise. Oh yes I am. I'm not going to try and crush the router. Just grip it. Now, if you don't have a voice, but you do have a router, this little device here, which is basically a sanding pad on Velcro, right? But don't just think like it's just a sanding. You can also use that to grip your material. So when you're using your router, right, that pad with the that sanding pad there will grip your wood. So when you're actually routing from the top like so, you don't have to clamp it down. You just that'll hold it in place for you. Yeah, providing this is set in a good position, which is not on there because it's on my voice. Over there you go. Well, that's better. So yeah, so it grips it into place. So yeah, that's one way of doing it. Let's move it out of the way. You see, just there is it's just about to see it, just along the edge of the rotor bit. So just such a cool. Yeah, then we found they are really cool, aren't they? Really, and it looks like quality. You know, I've even put little feet on the bottom of that one. So basically, what we're doing is we're creating a nice, smooth, sanded block. Yes, so that's our block. That's going to become the base for our phone holder. Our phones will sit in that slot like so. But then what you got to think about, what you can, okay, you could get a load of weights if you like. Whatever. You could have something there. Maybe you got some, maybe you got, I don't know, a plastic character, for instance, a toy, like a Hasbro figurine or something. Like you could actually bond, put an outfit's foot or something. Painful. Now, finishing wise, these ones have actually been finished in lacquer. Just a spray, clear varnish, that stuff. This one happened to come from Action here in France. And you just build up coats of that, and I just wet and dry it up between coats with 1200 wet and dry, and it's silky. You feel that? It's really smooth. Oh, and this bit of old oak here, which you wouldn't use it for anything really, but because it's all gnarly, it's actually made into a really nice space. So you got to look at things differently. Whereas this piece here and this piece here is a bit it's cleaner. It's a clean piece of oak. The gnarly bits work really nicely. Just take a bit more sanding, a bit more work, but they work really nicely. Anyway, do you know what we're going to do now? We're going to do some fret sawing. Want some fret sawing? Yes, some fret sawing. Hopefully, this is dry enough now, so we can actually. Yeah, I think it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the fret saw, and we're going to fret saw that. Now, I did mention it, but the areas that are vulnerable on this, because it's going to be mounted on there like that, you see. The tile is vulnerable, so I've got to be careful with that. So what I tend to do, let's grab a pencil to show you. Where's my pencils? Where's my pencils? Here's my pencil, hey pencil. I tend to bring it around there like so, to get me some more area, more support there, because that area there is vulnerable. Those whiskers there, I tend to do them a lot shorter, more like that kind of thing. Otherwise they just snap off. And also they're getting away with the idea is the phone sits on the air here. Alright, now when you're fret sawing, let me show you, I'll tell you what, we're going to go over here, there we are, and we're going to scroll saw our cat. Yes, a cat. Where's I put the camera? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Right, let's put it there. One cat, and I need my wax. Where's my wax gone? The thing about scroll sawing, you must keep everything lubed. You've got to lube your tool, but you have. There's my block, there's my wax. Something that I've actually forgot. Now, I tend to scroll out the eyes, but also the nose. Okay, which means I have to take the blade in and out a few times, which is fine. But you could do it differently. If you haven't got a scroll saw that's easy to do this with, or you're going to cut this out by hand, those internal cuts are quite awkward. They're the first ones you're supposed to do. I'll explain why in a minute. But you could pyrography the eyes in, or you could literally draw them on. Pyrography is basically wood burning. So I need a drill and a small drill bit. I brought in a Lloyd. I've got a Lloyd Loom chair in here now. Yes, a Lloyd Loom. Everyone needs a Lloyd Loom, they do. A looming Lloyd. Right, so basically the holes that I drilled in here for the blades to pass through, basically got to be big enough for the blade to be able to get through. So like that one's quite a good size, which happens to be a 2.5mm. I normally got a drill in the side here, mounted in the side here to do this with. But you can actually get a special drill for doing this job, which only drills 90-degree holes, perpendicular, but also it's quite, you know, the actual drill bit and what have you, the whole process. It's like a little plunger arrow with a drill bit in it, really. And, you know, whereas I'm going to do it, make sure it's centre, like that. And you're at risk of having it at an angle, which could be a problem. Right, we're going to cut those bits first. The awkward bits. Put the drill bit back in its little carrier. Do you like my little carrier for my drill bits? Yeah. Oh. Right, we've got holes drilled. Let's get some stuff out of the way. I've got the wax here, and I just basically, I just wax the cat. You got to wax the cat, you know. Oh, I've got another idea. I've got another present idea. There might be another video. What we're going to make is, I just thought of it because of the cat. You know, cats have bum holes, don't they? You know, and so do you. Actually, come to that, you know. Unless you stay with Kim Jong Un, then you don't have a bum hole, apparently, according to the film called The Interview. Well, it's a funny film. I ain't quite stuck on properly yet, but it don't matter. That'll be good enough. So we have a cat stuck to a board. Probably do have been left a bit longer. It's probably because it's cold in here. Now I need to release. Oh, look, there's another idea. You can have an R2D2 phone holder if you like. Yeah, like, sort of like that. Anyway, bum holes. I was talking about bum holes, wasn't I? Everyone's got a bum hole, unless your name is Kim Un from the North Korean geezer. And what about like a cat bum hole bottle opener? Yes, I've ordered some bottle openers. I am going to be making a cat bumhole bottle opener. In fact, I might make a Wally dog, a Wally bra. Yeah, definitely. I reckon so. Anyway, I've got to release the Kraken. Release the Kraken. Now you've got to release the blade like so. I then have to undo the clamp there like so. And I poke it through the holes in the back of my board. If I can find it. There you go. It's one. And then I've got to place it back and flip and hold again. Now this is an old saw. It's a good saw, but it's an old saw. The modern saws have like a fast method of releasing the blade. And also pin-ended blades are also pretty quick. I don't know if I got it in there properly. Oh, I'll do. I'll do it by tune. Got to get the tune. Name that tune. Right, I'll do. So I've got to turn it on. Get the air line in the right place. Just blows the dust out of the way. I'll do. And I've got a fish tank blower. I rigged up for that. Right, and turn slow. I'll do. And I've got to follow me lines, I have. Now, did you see how easy that come out of that space? Now, if your saw is not cut and square, that is not going to slide out. It'll only come out in one direction, or you might find it be jammed in. But you see, that goes in and out of its original cutout really easily. Now, the reason why we do that sticky tape is because of this. How easy is that to remove? And with no glue residue on the actual project itself. Now, if you already sanded it, you might not want to do anything to it. Now, I made some allowances, if you probably saw, here, right, and here. I didn't cut those extra bits out, and also the whiskers, I haven't actually included them in the design. So now we're going to go to the linisher and sand up its flat faces. You can use a bit of sandpaper if you like, or whatever, you know, but I'm going to use linisher because I got it, okay? Yeah, and it's here. That's the cat, and that's the base. So let's take it to the bench. Let me show you how I fix the two together. Now, you've got a few options on how to fix the two together, but the one thing you must think about, and this might seem bloody obvious, you want your phone to be vertical, right? Because it's going to do that, all right? So the cat can't be there, no, all right? And the cat can't be there, no, because it's silly. So you want it about there, okay? You're talking about 10, 15 degrees. Enough so it doesn't fall forwards when you're trying to use it. Enough so it secures itself. Now the tail here, and this because the tail is potentially vulnerable in its design, I don't want the tail protruding further than the back of the actual base. So it's going to be sort of up to where the base stops, or within that space. So I don't actually, you know, snap that off. So yeah, but how are we going to fix that to that? Well, you've got a few options, all right? One of the options, let me sit my bum down over here. Oh, here we go. Well, one of the options you got is you can use a dowel. And you can think, oh god, dowel, I've got a doweling jig. And now you're going to attach a doweling jig to a cat. It'll be cruel. That's what it'll be. It's like using fireworks, isn't it? You know, tying fireworks to a cat. Why do people do things like that? Anyway, I like animals, me. In fact, I love animals. Right, no, I would use something like these. These little 6mm beach dowels that you can get, or you can make your own, all right? Now, but why I like using the dowels, because it makes it really simple. The other thing you can do is you can literally attach that to that with a screw. And you can think, oh my god, if I put a screw at the bottom of that, oh, you must be kidding. Obviously, you don't want a big fat screw. 3.5mm, so like a number 3.5 or something like that would be the screw that I would use. Now I countersink it from the bottom, but when I actually apply this, put the screw into my cat, first thing I do is make sure I put a clearance hole in, not a clearance hole, a pilot hole, so you're not spreading the wood. Also, what I do, I would put it in the vise, like you know, like that, and squeeze the cat in the vise. Some cats deserve it, you know. Yeah, I'd squeeze it, and that stopped the wood being able to spread and split. Or I'd use a clamp, like a small G clamp or something like that. But I think this lends itself to using a dowel. Now, how would I do that? I wonder. All right, first of all, I need to know exactly where I want it to be. I've already told you where I want it to be. I want it so that tail is not protruding out the back, and it provides enough lean on the phone. Right. About there then, so it's not protruding past there, and you can grab your pencil and create somewhere in the centre here. Right, I'm going to put a little line so I know it's in the middle of the cat. It's sort of where the bum hole is. I'll then use my finger like so as a guide for a pencil, and I'd create my little mark like so. Right, we need to find centre, don't we? Like so. Sort of draw on the end of your square like that, and then do the same in the opposite direction. And what you do is you split the difference between the two, and that will give you the middle of your piece of wood. Yeah, if it looks right, it is right. If you use that mentality, you're going to be pretty much there. And I just rubbed off the line that I needed. I'm stupid. Stupid, mate. Was it stupid is as stupid does. Life is like a box of chocolates. Right, okay. So I won't be about there then. Yeah, about... okay, I've remarked it. I know where my centre is, okay? So now I'm going to grab a drill. Another thing you could do if you want, it's up to you, you could use tape and mark on top of the tape, because then you just remove the tape and all the marks go with it. You know, ain't no sanding. You haven't got to sand away your marks, have you? Or you could use some alcohol, that'll get rid of them. So, it's a 6mm I'm using. I'm using a 6mm dowel. I'll try to use these bits. Let's use these bits for a change. That's 6mm. So that should be the same size as that dowel there, alright? Now you've got to think to yourself, oh, got to line this all up, and I ain't going to do that. Got to line it up. Oh, so easy. Right, so I'm just going to... This dowel here is about 30mm long, so I know I need to be in 15mm in that way. I don't want to draw all the way through the bottom, do I? So one thing you can do is you can mark your drill, or you could use one of those fancy stop things like you see on there, you know. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to think to myself, I don't want it. I know that this is more than long enough, all right? Even if it went to there, that's about there. So it's 15mm long. And I'm just going to go, okay, that looks like about 15mm. So create a little flag, all right? And I'm going to draw this hole. What you want to do is keep that square. There's another technique I can show you. For drilling square into a piece of wood, you can use 2 pieces of wood. I found a piece of wood here. And another piece of wood here, like so. If you put that on there like that, all right, and you slide them, as long as the end of that is cut square, or that one, and you get your drill and you do that, maybe not that piece because it's too deep. Do it that way then. All right, you slide them like so, and that's square on there. You can use that as a guide to drill square, like that. Once it started, you move them out of the way and you're fine. And I've just got to drill down to my little flag. So I know that's probably around 15mm. That's 15mm by eye though, okay? It's necessarily 15mm. So I'm just going to remove some of those burrs from my bit of wood. And then I'm going to use a special device. Now these ones, you see, here, these are dowel markers. And these little dowel markers have a little pin in the middle. See that? Really simple. Now these ones are the ones you get out of the cheapy shops. I think it probably came out of Action or something. Like a quid for the whole set and those dowels or something. You know, €1. The other ones you can get are the Wolf ones, which are the copper ones, which are better. There's no doubt that they are most certainly better. But and also they're still cheap, but a set. But anyway, these are ridiculously cheap. So you put that in the hole like so. You'll put it in the hole. Yeah, so you've got it in the hole like so. You can see a little marker pin now, don't you? So all you've got to do is you position your cat where you want it to be. Make sure it's in the centre again. Or quite easy to see by eye, like that. You make sure it's tail, or I'm going to make sure it's tail because that's what I want. Doesn't go over the back end. You can't have the tail going over the back end. It's got to be on the back end, okay? And now what I'm doing is I'm creating a bum hole. A little dimply bum hole in the bottom of the cat. And that is my guide to where I want the dowel to be. So all I've got to do now, you know, I'm not that worried about whether it's centre that way. I'll just make sure when I draw a hole it is centre. And to start it, I'm not going to rely on that little dimple because I'm actually a little bit off centre. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a brad hole, put it in the right place. Like that. That's it, perfect. Right. That too, we've got to be careful you don't draw too far up because it'll come out of his back. In this case, so I've got the positioning on that. Meow, meow. Like that, you see. Now when you drill this hole, what is quite important is that you drill it in line. you're not at an angle, right? Because if it's at an angle, your cat's got to sit at an angle. Because you put the dowel up its butt, all right, at an angle, it might like it or it might not. It depends what the cat's into. But well, that's crikey, it's the wrong channel. So I'm just going to remove that little thing out of there. If it'll come out. Oh, we get it out of it. I can't get it out of its hole. There we go. Try not to mar the face. If you do have to use a screwdriver or something, which I nearly did. There's a little bit of sand in there, and that'll be as good as new. Oh, that's more. Oh, good. Oh, what an idiot! Right. So you do want to make sure that it's that hole's straight, but also you'll be careful. If I'm going to put this in the vise here, if I'm not careful, I'm going to break its tail off. Because the grain's going that way where the tail is. Once it's glued in place, it's not going to matter. But I don't want to damage the cat. I don't want to break the cat's tail off, do I? Meow! No, he said. So when I put this in the vise, these little things you've got to watch out for. I'm not going to put that there. Alright, if I do put that up there, I'm going to make sure the tail isn't in the vise. So I'll be doing like that. Otherwise, I'm going to break its tail off. And I don't want to break its tail off. Now, I've got to make sure that when I drill in here, I'm drilling in line that way, in line with the cat, but also that way. I'm not going to go crazy. I normally do this in the pillow drill, to be fair. But not everybody's got one. Okay, I have given the cat a bum hole. Alright, and now the dowel can go into the bum hole. I'm a child, I really am. I'll make sure it goes in there nicely. It looks pretty straight as well. Yeah, I'm happy with that. But what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to glue it into the base first. I might want to remove that later because I've got to put all the finish on, and I'll put the finishes on. I'm not going to lacquer this up all together. I'll do it separately. Otherwise, you're going to build up a lacquer around these edges and having just look a bit untidy. So and also the lacquer will shrink back and I'll just look messy. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to glue the dowel into the hole. You could use PVA if you want. I'm going to use this Eureka wood stick, mitre stick adhesive. They sent me some more actually. I've got some more over there. Right, so I'm going to put that in there like that. Now if I want to, I could put a bit of a... I'm not going to use Activate because if I use Activate on there, that glue's going to go off too quickly. and I'll struggle to get my dowel in. That gets stuck part way. And you don't want your dowel stuck part way in your piece of wood. No. No dowels stuck part way in holes. Thank you. No. Tell the missus, she'll know. Right, so that basically is going to be glued onto there like so. And I'd also put some 23 gauge pins in the tail as well, just to make doubly sure of it. And also, that'll be super glued down. But there you go, look. So we have a phone holder, a cat phone holder. They just now need some lacquer on it. And what a pretty cool gift that is, wouldn't you say? For Christmas. For people that you like. Not people that you hate, because it's too much effort for those people. No. Only nice people get the pretty cat phone holders. That they do. So what do you reckon? Leave it in the comments down below. But I think it's pretty darn cool. And it is. And like I say, you can use any old characters and what have you. Maybe there is something that your loved one, your family member is interested in. Maybe they like cats, maybe they like dogs, maybe they like me, they like Star Wars. Don't forget you put feet at the bottom as well if you want. You know, there's lots of things you can do. It doesn't have to be the cat, it doesn't have to be Star Wars, it could be, I didn't know, what's that other thing, that doll, like LOL or whatever. I don't know what that's all about, I don't know. So, make yourself, or a family member, a phone holder, because they are amazingly handy if you're at the kitchen table and what have you, and you can eat your food in one hand, you see, your Christmas dinner, your Yuletide log or whatever it is, you could be eating that one hand and then you could be doom scrolling in the other. That is, yeah, that's real mind-numbing stuff, that, isn't it, when you say? You tell me, please leave in the comments down below. Would you be interested in making one of these phone holders? And what character would you choose? And just to let you know, we are starting live shows very soon. And when you watch this video, maybe we already have. And we're making projects and stuff like that, because it gives me a bit more time to make them, you see. Whereas these ones, I have to go like fast forward. So I get them in a reasonable length of time. But also, we've got our Patreon as well. If you want to be a Patreon member, I'm uploading loads of patterns and stuff like that, just like the templates for the cats and the Star Wars and all sorts of stuff like that. I've started uploading on the Patreon for Patreon members and what have you. So if you want to become a Patreon, it's like, it's a £4 a month or something silly, €4 a month or something. I can't remember now. I'm useless me. Anyway. What would be really appreciated if you boop the old like button, it helps the channel, you know, and then all the help I can get. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, maybe a little bell icon, so you get one fuzzy feeling in your pocket when I make something else or try and teach you something as well. I'm really keen on getting newbies to woodworking having a go. It doesn't have to be complicated, no. You can make these using ordinary basic hand tools. A hammer. Toodaloo. And have a lovely Christmas.